2, 1.
All right, this is Mr. Klaus trying to do his very first screencast with lesson 12.4 in the Go Math book. Today we'll be describing the sides of polygons. We've been working all week on learning what polygons are and their characteristics. Today we're going to look at page 715 in your Go Math books. Our essential question is, how can you describe the line segments that are sides of polygons? So as we unwhoop, now there's going to be some mistakes here. It's my very first time doing it. So bear with me here. Whoa, where are you going? Get back here. Right. Scroll back down here. Thank you. And stop. Whoa, what are you doing? We'll touch you today. Unlock the problem. Look at the polygon and how many pairs of sides are parallel. So you're going to learn some words today that maybe you don't know, and parallel is one of them. So the first question is, how do you know the shape is a polygon? So if we look at it, we can see that it's a polygon because it is closed. It has line segments that are connected to other line segments. And if we count the sides, we can see that there are 4 sides, which make this a quadrilateral. So what we're going to learn today is how these lines can be different characteristics. The first type of lines we are going to learn about, if we look right underneath it just a little bit, I don't want to go that far. Very good. Are lines that cross or meet are called intersecting lines. So we can see right through here. Let me mess with some of my tools here. No, it's not working. But we can see right here, this line crosses this line right here. So this part right here is where they're intersecting. All right, and we see this a lot in polygons. The orange and blue line segments meet right here. So they are intersecting and they form an angle. Now we don't see them keep going, but just because they meet right there at that point, that makes them intersecting lines. The way I'm going to show you intersecting lines today is by showing you some roads. Now we can, if I pull up some pictures here, we see intersecting roads all over the place. If we can see here, a very, very busy highway where this road, these 2 roads are intersecting with these 2 roads. So if there weren't stoplights and stop signs, the cars would constantly be crashing into each other. That's why we have stoplights and stop signs, because they're intersecting. The roads, the cars are crossing each other. And there's all kinds of different diagrams that we could look. Right here is intersection. So this road is intersecting with that road. So intersecting lines are the first type of property we're going to talk about. The second one is a fancy word called perpendicular. All right. So intersecting lines that cross or meet to form a right angle are perpendicular. And we remember from our previous lessons that right there is the symbol. I'm going to see if I can get some of my different tools here. Oh, no, not that. Let's do this one, the bullseye. Let's see if we can get the bullseye. Oh, okay, it's not working. There we go. So right there, we can see the little box, which shows that that's a 90-degree angle or a right angle. So here we have a red line and a blue line creating a perpendicular angle. So the red and blue line segments meet to form a right angle. So they are, and then we would write the word perpendicular. So far, our 2 words are intersecting and perpendicular. Now remember, if you never need to come back to this part of the video to learn what intersecting and perpendicular are, you are in charge. So if you don't quite understand it at first, go ahead, rewind the YouTube video, and keep watching it until you understand it. The last type of lines we're going to learn about, today are called parallel lines. And lines that never cross or meet and are always the same distance apart from each other are parallel. They do not form angles. So here, this top line and this bottom line are never going to touch. They're going to go on forever and never cross. So here with our colored lines here, the green and the blue, are never going to cross. So the green and blue line segments will never cross or meet. They are always the same distance apart. So they appear to be parallel. So what you'll see in 4th grade and in 5th grade, there are symbols for parallel lines. So what they'll do is they'll put an arrow kind of on top of each line to represent parallel. So if you see one arrow is always parallel to one arrow. So right here, this line, they'd put a little arrow on, and this line, they'd put a little arrow on, and then you would know that those two lines are parallel. So if you ever see that, now you know what those mean. Parallel lines go on forever. Now, looking at our roads that are parallel, if you see here, this road is parallel to this road. The cars are not going to crash into each other because the roads are always the same distance apart. You see this on major highways, major freeways like this. You can see it on some desert roads that I was driving through going from California to Arizona. They're the same distance apart. They're never going to touch. So all these properties you're going to use when you're talking about polygons, and we're going to use that information today. We're going to scroll this up, and our very first try this states this: draw a polygon with only one pair of parallel sides. Then draw a polygon with 2 pairs of parallel sides. Outline each pair of parallel sides with a different color. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video. I want you to go on 716 at the very top of this grid paper right here. And I want you to try that. You may not quite understand it, but go ahead and look through the clues. I'm going to draw a polygon with only one pair of parallel sides. So what I would start with, I would draw a pair of parallel sides and then connect them to make a polygon. And then you want to make one with 2. So think back about all the polygons we've learned. You probably know some of the properties that have 2 parallel sides, 2 pairs. So go ahead and pause it. And then in a moment, when you're done, press play, and I'll show you what I came up with. So first, I'm going to draw a polygon with 1 pair of parallel sides. So I'm going to do my best here. So bear with me if this doesn't come out super neat. I'm going to draw my top parallel. Now, it doesn't have to be the same length. Parallel to my bottom. These 2 lines are never going to touch. Now, I'm a little squiggly there, but that's okay. So my top is parallel to my bottom. And then I'm going to just connect these 2 sides to make a polygon. Top connects to there. The top connects to there. And I've made myself a nice little trapezoid. So you can see from the trapezoid that my top is parallel to my bottom, but my left is not parallel to my right. They are going to eventually cross up there. So in 4th grade, when you make your symbols, I put a little arrow on this one because the top is parallel to the bottom, just like so. So my second one, I want to draw a polygon with 2 pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so now my left side has to be parallel to my right side, and my top has to be parallel to my bottom. So what I'm going to make here is a rectangle. You also could have made a square. As you can see there, the top and bottom are parallel, and the left and right are parallel. We're going to try to scroll down again, see if it goes all wild on me again here. See you later. Get them out of there. All right. So looking at our share and show, looking at number 1, and it states, which sides appear to be parallel? So whenever I ask a question during the screencast, you want to make sure you pause it, answer it, and then play it to see how you did. All right. This is going to be our last question. I'm going to run out of time here. So which sides appear to be parallel? All right. So if we're looking at this, think about what we just did in the last one. This will be our last question before the screencast ends. You're going to look. Which sides? We have sides A, B, C,